You're my boys. What is going on? We are back again with another Dragon Ball Sparking Zero video. It is your boy Tech, and not only do we have an official update to go over today, but there's also a couple of things on the official Dragon Ball Sparking Zero website that I wanted to talk to you about as well. I'm not sure when this got updated, or maybe I just missed it the first couple of times around, but I know a lot of you guys have been asking about some stuff on here, so we're gonna make sure to talk about all of this in this video before we do hop into today's video. And I'm assuming it's gonna be a little bit of a longer one, so I hope you guys can bear with me with all the info. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we are almost at that 1 million sub milestone. And if you've been enjoying all of the Sparking Zero or just Dragon Ball content period recently, consider leaving a like on the video as well. But without further ado, let's not hold this up any further. Let's hop straight into this update. So guys, as you can see, I'm already over here on the official Sparking Zero website. I'll probably just start over here since this is the shortest bit that we have to go over. But first, I wanted to hop over to the character section. So yeah, as we can see, the character page on the Dragon Ball Sparking Zero website continues to be filled out pretty much every month. It seems like we have every version of Goku, but we have every version of Goku that we've seen so far. We haven't seen any Ultra Instinct Goku gameplay, but they have shown him in the release date announcement trailer. So then we have every version of Vegeta we've seen so far. Obviously, Blue Kaioken isn't up here because it's a boost skill, so Blue Evo isn't going to be up here either. We have not seen. They've shown Teen Gohan. He's been shown, but I guess I don't know why they haven't put him on here yet, but we have seen him. So is there anybody else new? Okay, yeah, they had people from the most recent trailer. Raditz. Did Raditz just get shown? I think he just got shown at Summer Games Fest. This is a story mode screenshot right here for Raditz. We haven't seen much of Bardock, but they did reveal him. Obviously, we've seen a lot of Golden Frieza, Goku Black Zamasu, Fuse Zamasu. So yeah, a lot of these guys down here. Matter of fact, it seems like they stopped. Yeah, it seems like everybody from Whis and beyond, they didn't have in the last demo build. So hopefully the rest of these guys will be in the next demo build at Anime Expo. I would love to play all of these people, man. Especially, yo, I want to get y'all some Goku Black and Fuse Zamasu gameplay so bad, man. So I hope they're in the next build. And the last thing I kind of wanted to go over with you all before we get into the official developer update for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is something back here on the homepage of the website again. Let me just see. I got to go find it. Oh, these are super high quality. Can I snatch these? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to get those later. But a lot of you guys have been asking me on every single Sparking Zero video that goes up, is it gonna be cross-plat? Do you know anything about cross-plat? And I'm gonna be honest, until you guys kept bringing it to my attention, I didn't even think to look into it. So according to the official Dragon Ball Sparking Zero website, in their info panel, for all three systems that the game is gonna be on, cross-platform compatibility is gonna be incompatible. That is a giant L to me, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not a game dev myself, so I can't speak to any of the problems that present themselves when trying to implement cross-platform compatibility. I just don't know. I wish it was there, but maybe it's just not possible. So with those couple of kind of small updates out of the way, let's get into the big one, what everybody's waiting for. So this is gonna be an interview with the producer of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Jun Furutani. Staff from the beloved masterpiece Meteor will also be joining the fray, taking on the new generation of Sparking with strong love. And in case you guys were wondering, and I'll be sure to link everything as always, but this article is going to be by way of Famitsu.com. And first, they're just gonna kind of go over what Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is, and you know, kind of who we're gonna be getting all this information from today. Obviously, Jun Furutani. So the beginning of this is gonna state a return of Dragon Ball-esque action from Zero after 17 years, and below is the start of the interview. So the staff is gonna start out by asking, please tell us why you decided to revive the Sparking series. This is what they're asking Jun Furutani, and he's gonna reply, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Meteor was the last game in the series. It was extremely well made, and I think it was the end of the road. Since then, many other Dragon Ball game series have been released, so the Sparking series has been on hold for a while. Given the recent changes in technology and environment, we thought we could deliver the excitement of Dragon Ball battles at a new high level, so we thought we should revive the Sparking series once more and decided to take on the challenge this time. The next question they're going to ask is, please tell us why you decided to remove the Z from the title and added Zero from this game. And Furutani's going to reply, characters from the movies and Dragon Ball Super, so of course movie characters confirmed. We've already seen Bardock, Broly, Gogeta will also appear, so this time we had to remove the Z and called it Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. 3 titles have been released in the series so far, but it's been about 17 years since the last one. In fact, This is the first title worldwide to have the sparking in the title. The series was called Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi overseas, and we know that all too well. This time though, we will unify the title name and release it worldwide as Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The reason we added Zero to the title is that the 2 sequels to the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi series were numbered titles 2 and 3. We wanted to follow that tradition and appeal to people who have never played it before, so we chose the easy to understand Zero. That was a pretty good answer. So the next question is going to be, are there any development staff members who were involved in previous titles? That is an excellent question. I really like how they structure and kind of progress through all of their questions. They've been asking some bangers through all of these interviews. Furutani is going to reply, as with previous titles, development is handled by Spike Chunsoft. Some of the development staff were in charge of the Sparking series. In that respect, I think this title has firmly inherited the soul of the Sparking series. There are many Dragon Ball games, but what is the unique appeal of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? And then he's going to follow up by saying, what we're aiming for is for the players to play as Dragon Ball characters. In order to allow players to play as Dragon Ball characters, we prepared the largest number of characters ever. In addition, we've added a production that allows players to feel the power of Super Warriors to their heart's content, such as the terrain being destroyed or changed by attacks. I think that the characteristic of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is that it pursues the part where you can experience battling as a Dragon Ball character. Also, from the perspective of a fighting game, Dragon Ball FighterZ is quite esports oriented, or rather a highly competitive title. This work places emphasis on character rather than a fighting game where the strength of each character is fair. Therefore, strong characters can play as they are, and characters who are not active at the forefront have the power to match. We want players to enjoy the action of Dragon Ball. Alright, I receive all of that, but I will say again that since FighterZ is obviously on the decline, there is a part of me that wants there to be a super competitive side to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm not saying that I want it at EVO or CEO or anything like that, but I do want to see, you know, community ran tournament. Man, I'm a huge House of Chaos fan. I would love for Bum to bring in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Maybe he's already talked about it, I don't know. But the assist function in battle has been added. Are there any actions that cannot be performed when assist auto is enabled? And he's going to follow up by saying, basically, not using auto gives you more freedom of action. Assist auto is a setting for beginners and is provided so that even people who are not good at games can play. The intention is that we want players to enjoy a certain degree of Dragon Ball like fighting style, even if they're just repeatedly pressing buttons. Okay, so I guess this is how they're phrasing the modern controls or simple controls or whatever. I didn't know what he was talking about with auto assist at first. If you want to use different actions depending on the situation, there will be some parts that are difficult to do with the auto settings. And this is something that I brought up a couple of videos ago where we were talking about the modern or simple controls at first. When they implement the simple controls, usually that takes away from other parts of a character's kit. I didn't know how they would do that in this game with so many moves and everything like that, but it looks like that's still gonna kind of be the case. Advanced players should definitely turn this off, and those who are not used to it should fight with assist as much as possible. So are there going to be any changes to the controls or handicaps to allow for more casual play? And Furutani is going to follow up by saying, I don't have any particular plans. If there is full auto assist, I've adjusted it so that basically you can fight in any way. Next, in the demo, we were able to fight in teams of 3. For example, in a 1v3 battle, is there any kind of handicap such as the one-person team being stronger? There is no such system, Furutani is going to reply. Thank the Lord, no mercy system. Also, in the trial version, there were 3-person teams, but in the final version, you can form teams of up to 5 people. In team battles, each character has a cost, and you can freely form teams up to the team's upper limit. You can assume that the cost of stronger characters will inevitably be higher. Even with Son Goku, the cost varies depending on the era and whether or not he's a Super Saiyan. So basically what he's saying here is that the later versions of characters and transformations and fusions and stuff like that, I'm sure, are going to be way higher cost than base characters and everything like that. But that's something we could expect. Now, this next question, this is a flaming hot question right here. Please tell us about the online battle system. Also, is the netcode a rollback code? Rollback codes are not used. Online battles will include ranked matches and casual friendly matches. And down here in this little footnote, they're going to say rollback code is a technology that uses future predictions in the game to reduce communication delays during online battles. All right, nothing to see here. Another 10 years of delay-based netcode. Let's get it. So the next question is going to be, is there online play like co-op battles with friends? That would be really funky in this game. I don't know how you would pull that off, but Fudutani's going to say, Matt, you could just do like Xenoverse. What am I talking about? But he's going to reply, no. Basically, this is just a 1v1 game. Why 1v1 as like PvP wise. So the next question is going to be, you said that you don't place much importance on balance, but I think there are some aspects that can't be ignored. More great questions. Will there be any adjustments and updates after the release? Oh, I gotta prepare myself for this one. He's going to reply, I think the environment in which players play will change depending on the management. If there are voices saying that the environment is difficult to play, we would like to update it. However, there are no plans for that at this moment. So what we see is what we're gonna get, guys. But I'm telling you, how would y'all feel if they just did something nutty like changing character costs every couple of months? I think that would be a cool way to spice the game up, bro. So the next question is gonna be, example, if you challenge Mr. Satan with the strongest Goku, can you win? Yes. It's not like you can't damage them, so if you have the skill, you can win. If you perfectly recreate the original, there are characters that you can't beat or damage, but we do maintain the minimum standard. Like, if I'm playing as Krillin or something like that, I don't want to just get shut out from every Broly online. That'd be ridiculous. I don't know why some people want that. That's a little bit too realistic. So the next question is going to be, ranked matches end up in an environment where everyone is the same character. Will you make any adjustments? Yo, we are begging for them adjustments later on. So Fudutani is going to reply, it's a difficult part, but if it's within our expectations, it will remain that way. If we feel that the environment is ruining the fun for players, we would like to improve it. So unless their hand is forced, they're not going to be just, you know, doing patches every couple of months. We might only get like one update a year, to be honest. That's what it's kind of sounding like. Like, if nothing's going wrong and they can just keep dishing out DLC, why would they update anything? Or I guess, you know, patch and adjust things is a better way to say it. So the next question is going to be, offline battles are split screen play, but is it possible to bring your own hardware and play locally? And he's going to reply, we don't have any plans for that at the moment. If you want to play offline, you can obviously just play in split screen. It's a pretty, you know, quick and easy answer. So next they're going to ask, you said that offline battles are possible in the Room of Spirit and Time, but is the Room of Spirit and Time a stage that's only for split screen? That's actually a good question. We should be able to play in the Room of Spirit and Time no matter what, right? Okay, yeah, he says no, it's one of the normal stages, and in offline battles the selection stage is limited to the Room of Spirit and Time. So since the game was developed as a single player game with only online battles in mind, split screen battle support was really limited. So the next question is going to be about what ifs. How many branching what if stories will there be in episode battles? And this is going to be story mode, so how many like branch off situations can we be in story mode? So Fudutani is going to reply that it's limited to some scenes, but it's an image of it splitting at a small branching point. So it's not like there are countless what if stories for every single scenario in story mode. Of course, the main part is the reproduction of the original work. So I hope you'll play around with that as the main focus, but enjoy the, you know, what ifs from time to time. Next question is, in episode battle movies, you can enjoy some scenes from a subjective perspective, but are there perspectives other than Goku's? That's actually a really good question. Maybe playing from like Vegeta's perspective. So he's going to reply by saying it'll be from the perspective of the main character chosen in the episode battle, so there will be many others besides Goku. However, we can't reveal who the other main characters are, so please wait for further information to find out whose perspective you'll be able to see from. If I had to guess, I'm going to say Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, Yamcha, and I'm forgetting somebody important. You guys will let me know down below in the comments. So how many movie scenes will be from the perspective of the main character? He says this is going to be a mode for enjoying battles, so it's limited to some scenes. Next question is going to be, is it possible to follow the story of Dragon Ball Super in this game? And this is going to be our first time playing this in a Tenkaichi game. So he's going to say, I think you can follow the flow of the story, but it unfolds as if some scenes were cut out. Rather than being able to enjoy the story from 1 to 10, the details are digested and you get to relive the surroundings of each battle. That was a weird way to answer that question. I'm not sure about that. That was a weird way to answer that. So the next question is going to be, will you be able to develop a grand story in the custom battle movie? Yes, some custom battle questions now. So he's gonna reply, depending on the creator, various developments can be created. For example, it's possible for Beerus to train Mr. Satan. There's really freedom there. Lines are selectable. There are about 5,000 to 6,000 lines. For example, if there's a line that calls out a character's name, you can change that character's name to another person. Guys, we're about to pay off the house with this one. Anyway, moving on. Do you get any rewards for playing custom battles? And Furutani's going to reply that there are no rewards for battles edited by players. As for the extra battles that we have prepared, achieving them will lead to some unlocking element. Next question is going to be, can you change? This is like, yo, who typed this up on this website? Anyway, can you change the battle system in the edit? Furutani's gonna reply, why would you want to do that? The basic battle system cannot be changed. However, for example, you can change the condition. Oh, I get what they're asking. You can change the conditions for victory, such as whether or not you can win by ring out in the Budokai Tenkaichi. Next question is gonna be, are there any plans for general players to try out the game in the future? Furutani says, we would like to provide as many opportunities as possible for people to play the game, but we can't talk about specifics at this moment. So basically, they want to know if we're going to be getting an online public demo before release date. I think we all want to know that, but they're keeping that on the hush hush for right now. We are still a little over 3 months out from release, so anything is possible. But Furutani's gonna address that by saying that the main part of the game is complete and they're in the process of polishing it up and balancing and checking for bugs. So it feels like these fellas are almost ahead of time. They've had 5+ years of production and development going on, so they are ready for game time, just like we are. And he's gonna follow that up by saying, we've announced that the release date will be October 10th, 2024, October 11th for the PC version, of course, and there's still a little time until the release, but please just look forward to it. We will do our utmost to make it possible for you to enjoy becoming a Dragon Ball character yourself. There's like some weird spacing going on with this article. It threw me off for a second. But anyways, next question is going to say, as an action game, I think the Dragon Ball Raging Blast series was a spiritual sequel to Sparking. Judging from the title, it's a sequel to Sparking after all. And Furutani is going to reply, that's right. The Raging Blast series is a series that was made in a different direction from the Sparking series while inheriting the fun of action. We've heard from fans that say they wanted to play a new Sparking series, so we decided to take on Sparking this time. And I'm gonna be honest, whether they made Raging Blast 3 or Sparking 0, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, whatever you want to call it, we were gonna love that. Raging Blast 3, Xenoverse 3, and Tenkaichi 4, I feel like no matter who you ask is gonna be one of those three, if not all three. So the next question is going to be, even though it branched out into Raging Blast, there was a gap of about 17 years, and I feel that the perfection of Sparking Meteor was just too high. Was it the actual situation? And Furutani is going to reply that we believe that Sparking Meteor is extremely well made, both in terms of the range of action and the number of characters, a bunch of characters in that game. Since then, the technology, platforms, and other aspects of the environment have evolved significantly over the years, so we felt that if we made the latest installment in Sparking series, in the current environment, it would surely surpass the previous installment, and we were finally able to take that plunge. You can go ahead and call me a hype boy, fan beast, whatever you want. I'm confident in saying, before I even get to play the game next week, I'm confident in saying that I think that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero will not only be the greatest Dragon Ball game of all time, but possibly also the greatest anime game of all time too. Don't at me about it. So the next question is going to be, and this is going to be from the interviewer obviously, when I tried out the game, I was very happy that as a fan, I felt that it was the very essence of Sparking. There are some new actions such as short dashes, but the basics seem to follow the feel of the series. So basically they're telling us that all of the commands seem to still be the same with a little bit of that new stuff added on. So guys, if you still got Tenkaichi 3, get that training in now. Furutani is going to reply, thank you. I wanted you to enjoy the fun of Sparking as it is. So I tried to make as few changes as possible to the base system. I'm relieved that I got the reaction I aimed for. On top of that, I've introduced systems such as the revenge counter and super identification to increase the range of tactics. The field is much larger than before, and I added a short dash to allow for more detailed action. As for the new elements, they're elements used in battles between advanced players, but I prepared them so that you can enjoy a deeper Dragon Ball battle experience. And within all of this here, I'm assuming that he's not only talking about the new mechanics in the game, but also things as old and as simple, or you would think would be as simple as a Z counter. These are all things that at a higher level of play, you're going to get to see how strong they truly are. So the next question is going to be, this series is a game where if you don't defend well, you're often attacked one-sidedly. I felt that the introduction of revenge counter made it easier to defend. Furutani's gonna reply, that's true, but if anything, it's the result of emphasizing the action of Dragon Ball. In Dragon Ball, there are scenes where you can counterattack while being attacked and land a counter. We introduced this new system based on the opinion that that's what Dragon Ball is all about. Also, Kamehameha waves were previously not repelled in the game, but we thought that Dragon Ball is all about being able to bounce back Kamehameha waves, and so we created a system where you can prepare for various attacks and counterattack. Kamehameha waves such as the Ultimate Blast released in Sparking State can't be reflected, but this system will allow you to enjoy more Dragon Ball-like action. I do like that they added the beam deflex. I think that's a really cool Dragon Ball-esque thing that we should have been able to do in really any game. So the next question is going to be, so the system is inspired by Dragon Ball. I heard that the direction this game is aiming for is not a highly competitive battle. People who are familiar with the series will understand that the battles in this game are like, hey, let's play some Dragon Ball, but I feel like that feeling is hard to convey for new players. Furutani is going to state that's exactly right. I want you to think of it as a fighting action game where you can play Dragon Ball. I'm sure some fans have their own preferences, like I said, I would like for there to be a competitive side to this game. Like, when this move comes, you should return it with this move, not avoid it. The appeal of this game is that you can perform these actions with your own hands as much as possible. So it seems like it's going to be really easy in this game to blur the lines between casual and optimal play. That's all I'm getting from what's being said right now. But the appeal of the game is that you can perform these actions with your own hands as much as possible. However, it's not a casual game and you can enjoy deep tactics as you improve your skills. We're not throwing away the balance of the battles, so we are currently adjusting it so that you can enjoy online battles for a long time. However, this ain't no casual game, buddy, and you can enjoy some deep tactics as you improve your skills. We're not throwing away the balance of the battles, so we are currently adjusting it so that you can enjoy online battles for a long time. However, unlike esports titles, we do not have the idea of emphasizing fairness between characters. Instead, we place importance on the character's personality. And we've already talked a bunch about the balancing, so we'll just move on from that for now. So the next question is going to be, in the character selection during the demo, Android 18 was the normal one, while Android 17 had the super suffix and was wearing the super costume. Is it possible to change costumes in the game? Furutani is gonna intelligently reply, I can't tell you about the characters. However, just like in previous games, there are some characters who can change their costumes if they want to fight in this costume at this time. So moving on, the next one is going to be, so for characters whose performance doesn't change much between Z and Super, there are no Super versions, but there are Super costumes. Furutani is going to take a pause, think about it for a second, and says, that might happen, or it might not. See, he almost got tripped up right there. But the costumes change depending on the situation and damage during the battle, so I hope you enjoy the small he is Heisman stepping some of these questions, I'm not gonna lie. So moving on, the following question is gonna be, Goku's episode battle will be depicted from the Raditz arc to the Tournament of Power arc. The fact that characters such as Dragon Ball Super Superhero will appear in the DLC means that the characters participating are not limited to that, right? For example, the original Dragon Ball anime, Furutani, they're trying to trip him up, but he's not going. He's going to reply, I'm sorry, that also relates to the characters, so I can't really answer that question. He's going to snicker again. All I can say is that if you choose Goku as the main character in the episode battle, you can enjoy the series from the battle with Raditz to the Tournament of Power, and that's all he can give us. Next question is going to be, so the episode battles also depict what-if scenarios, but was this adopted because it was so popular in the Sparking series? He's going to reply that in Sparking Meteor, I'm sure that there were players who enjoyed the exciting what-if scenarios, wondering what would happen if I could defeat a strong enemy. Of course, reliving a story you already know is fun in itself, but for example, in this game, when you become able to control Goku well in the fight against Raditz and overcome the battle with a strong enemy, an experience you've never seen before awaits you. Is that why you added a first-person perspective to the movie scenes to add some accent they're gonna ask next? And Furutani is gonna respond, that's one thing, but as a result of placing emphasis on role-playing, we wanted people to experience what Goku was feeling at that time. So we added a first-person perspective. Watching that special beam cannon come towards you from a first-person perspective is spooky. So the next question is going to be, at first glance, it looks like you've just changed it to a first-person perspective, but in reality, you have to create parts that don't need to be visible in a normal movie scene, so it actually takes a lot of work, doesn't it? So TLDR, Furutani's pretty much gonna say, yeah, that's right, this doesn't really have anything to do with gameplay or characters in itself, so I'm kind of just gonna skim past this and get right back into things. So the next question is gonna say, I'm looking forward to it. As for custom battle though, back to the good stuff. It seems like it will be difficult to develop, especially the dialogue editing. Even though you can only use set words, it seems like users will be able to slip through some holes. We try to avoid that as much as possible, Furutani replies, and we want everyone to treat Dragon Ball with love. However, depending on the situation, we think that the management will have to deal with such cases. And then they're gonna ask for custom battles. Is it possible to publish just the scenario with no fight, I'm guessing is what they're asking. And Furutani's gonna reply, no, you can't. The main focus on the game itself is the battles, and you can create a little scenario. Conversely, you can choose not to have the dialogue and just have the battles. After that, we want players to enjoy it however they like. So next, they're gonna ask, as a result, the battles may be a bonus and the scenarios may be the main focus. Well, I don't know what will happen after release, Furutani says, but even if that happens, I think it's fine if people enjoy it. Really, they just want everybody to have as much fun as possible and show off this amazing product that they've been working on for half a decade or even longer. So the next question is going to be, is there a search for, oh, there better be a search function for the custom battles published online. There better be. Yes, thank you. You will be able to search by difficulty, level, various conditions, and tags. I like that, and they're currently still making adjustments. Yes, no rush with custom battle at all. I don't care if they're working on that until October 9th. So the next question is going to be, and I think we're almost done here. We're getting close to the bottom. You said that there will be unlockable elements, but what do you imagine them to be? Will you save up points and purchase them? Is there going to be an in-game coin system, VC? Like, what's going on? So some elements can be unlocked by collecting points, or I guess in-game currency, or however they're doing it, Furutani replies, and some can be unlocked by clearing episode battles. As I mentioned earlier, some can be unlocked in extra battles. So there's going to be a couple of ways to unlock things. Okay, it's going to keep people busy. The next question is going to be, of course, this is a game for Dragon Ball fans, but as a fan, I hope it'll also be a gateway to Dragon Ball itself. And Furutani is going to reply, first of all, as a game, it is called the Sparking series, so I think that people who like Sparking will definitely enjoy it right off bat. On top of that, we're developing it as a work for Dragon Ball fans, so that even if you have one favorite character, you can enjoy it. People who don't know Dragon Ball may not understand why there are so many characters, but I want them to know that the world of Dragon Ball is just that wide and that vast. And even if you look at it purely as a fighting action game, it is a game where you can enjoy a very speedy and deep strategy. So even if you're someone who only knows the name of the game, we would be very happy if you would try the game and start to like the original work of Dragon Ball from there. And I think that is probably the best answered question that I've seen this entire interview. No wonder, because that is the last question, but I gotta say that was an amazing interview. Thank you to Famitsu.com for sharing that exclusive interview with us, and thank you to Jun Furutani for all the information that you're sharing before the game's release. I know this one's a little bit on the longer side, guys, but we got a ton of good information if you were really listening. They went over everything from the episode battle what ifs to the freedom and some of the editing options we're gonna have in custom battle. They spoke about online battle and the netcode. They talked about the new mechanics. Like, that is a lot to digest from one interview, so I think I'm cutting the video right here, guys. Down below in the comments, let me know what you thought about Famitsu's interview with Jun Furutani and all of the new information we found out today. I think one of the biggest things that stuck out to me in this whole interview was the netcode talk and the talk about balancing and competitiveness online and things like that. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not asking for this to be like Evo level or anything like that, but I mean, I do want to see the community ran tournaments, and obviously I'm going to be running some myself and all the homies and things like that. But Sparking Zero is a game that I want to see be hosted at places like House of Chaos. So bum, if you ever see a clip of this video, please bring Sparking Zero to the HOC. But that is going to do it for this one, guys. Like I said, let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this massive info dump from Jun Furutani. But anyways, have a great day, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.